say you want it feature pen. You write books, film, song, not even there, so it end. The way you work, really, them I feel respect it, my friend. Nah, I beg nobody, no.
Hello everyone, Jay Mullings from Rapman here, aka Wicked Penman. Today's topic is, I've seen a trailer for a movie recently and it got me thinking. It's the Al Capone movie starring Tom Hardy. My thoughts on Tom Hardy is that he's a great actor. Does very well in America, very, very well in America. Is loved universally as far as I can tell. I've never really seen critics give him a hard time, never really seen anyone really say they hate Tom Hardy or anything, so very well liked, very well respected, and has an awesome, his credit list is amazing. So again, this is nothing against Tom Hardy. I don't want anyone trying to misconstrue anything, not that Tom Hardy even knows who I am or cares, but anyway. Right, so the Capone movie, telling the story of Al Capone. Al Scarface Capone, if you want to keep it 100. You know, the notorious Chicago gangster. Yeah, one of, well, he was the most wanted man in America for a very long time. Inspired countless films, countless songs, countless rap names. You know, you name it. This has, and yeah, he's had how many films made after him? A lot, actually. Right. So anyway, I've seen the trailer, and here's the thought that I had. America has always had this fascination with gangster movies. We understand. They usually center around the lives of Irish Americans, or like the Irish turning into American, Italians turning into Italian Americans, so on and so forth. Like we understand that it follows the life of the, we'd say, the disenfranchised, if you like people who weren't welcome. They came to get their piece of the American dream, so on and so forth. They did what they had to do by any means to get to the top of the ladder. Right, we get that. And then kind of the family dynamic or the brutality, whatever it is you want, like the militarization of this gangster collective and the thought processes that they went through and how they were organized and so on and so forth. The funny thing, well, not even the funny thing, but it's interesting how you get these films like clockwork every year. Every year there's a gangster movie, every single year. Was Irishman this year? Irishman was this year. No, it was last year going into this year. Right, anyway, ignore that. On the flip side, Britain has a very strange relationship with gangster movies, gangster serial, or the depiction of gangsterism, but mostly when it's with black people. You know, you can't. And I've even sat there and I thought about it myself, thinking it would be nice to have a film or a series or something that does well, that doesn't depict that life at all, just for balance's sake. But then I was like, every year there's a gangster movie in America. Like, for real, these are real depictions of stuff, very gory, very violent. No one makes the connections that people make here about those kind of films. So, and I've been asked about this a lot of times, and I've said the gangster depiction, especially of black people, is worthy. It does need representation, and it is a reality for a lot of people. So you can't really argue against it. What you can say is that, you know, there are other stories to tell as well, for sure. But then, like I said, America can't get enough of gangster movies, but in Britain, every single one is like it's released to someone rolling their eyes. I remember the Cray movie and you know, there's been more than a couple of flicks that have come out in that gangster mold, and it just seems to be very much like frowned upon here and celebrated there. But in ways, Britain always seems to want to emulate Hollywood, but not in this particular genre. It's a strange thought. Not that you can really predict what goes on here and what anyone will like and what anyone will push forwards, but yeah, that was my takeaway from it, if you like. That, and again, it seems it is based on a true story. It is based on a true character. And then you wonder if, right, here is the real thought. if someone from, let's say, any ethnic minorities, if they were to write up a story based on a real life gangster from their culture, would it A, get the funding, B, would it receive the kind of critical acclaim and the boost you need to, you know what I mean, for this film to be seen as worthy and to be a contestant for these awards and stuff? Would that happen? Especially if it's helmed by someone from that culture. And that's where I was kind of like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Not only am I not sure, I'm leaning towards, it wouldn't work. You know, they shut that down in a hurry, quick, fast, and in a hurry, which is a shame, because every culture, especially the ones that have migrated to Britain and you know, and grown and blossomed here and have spanned generations, they must all have a you know, like a pivotal gangster or pivotal, you know, person who broke the law for whatever reason and lived the life of an outlaw and did well from it, or for a period of time, or was renowned for. There has to be for every single. It's got to be one. You know, you got to have like an Indian gangster that was running things. You got to have a Pakistani gangster that was running things. Chinese for sure. Your Jamaican. Well, obviously they love categorizing every Jamaican as being a yardie for. So yeah, but I'm sure there's a couple Bajans, you know, there must have been someone from all of these cultures that was over here doing bits. Like, I would love to see those stories. Like I said, so long as we're not going down the route of this is the only thing we see. We need some other important stories as well being told. And, you know, and it doesn't all have to be based on a true story. They can be fiction. Come on, we can make stuff up, and you know, it'd be nice to see some of that. But then it's like the spin cinema is in right now. Cinema is dying, by the way. I've said this to a few people, and they're telling me I was being crazy. I called this ages ago. I probably, let me see if I can find the tweets. If I can, I'll put them up. And I was like, yo, if you lot don't get in and start supporting these mavericks, filmmakers, these people with new ideas, and like really, you know, breathe life into the industry, you're going to die a death. Not only that, like, it's all these streaming services that are going to blockbuster you because they spend their money. They might not always spend money on things that we like or things that we agree with the amount they spend their money on, but they spend their money. Oh yeah, let me mention this now. I'm going to do a video on the Lord of the Rings TV series that Amazon commissioned. Yeah, that's going to be a separate video. But yeah, they spent a big bag on that. It's not out yet. Like, it seems like it's doomed to. Anyway, let me not even get into that. But yes, they spend their money. You know, whether Netflix, when they went through the comedy revolution, where they decided they want to run the comedy game, and they was, you know, dishing out specials and handing out bags to everyone, like checks. They spend their money. Whereas, what does the cinema do? You know, even the ones that have a charter to find new talent, not really. Like, they just jump on what's hot. And if that's how you roll, now that all of this is happening and everything is going towards releasing VOD, and these people already have the relationships and the access, I don't think they're gonna go, you know what, like, you know, it's not a big deal to them to do cinema anymore. Why? They've already done it. They've already had their films in your cinema. The people you should have been championing, the people you should have been helping, I think they're gonna go, well, do I really need this right now? No one ain't really on the cinema vibe. This is the new frontier. This is where the money, this is where the opportunity is. And that's what the problem is with cinema. Like, you guys are almost in the same situation as Blockbuster, where it's like you refuse to evolve, you refuse to energize the next generation, and you refuse to allow new thought, new ways, new technology, new forms of expression to take root. That's when you get left behind. So, but yeah, like I said, I wish, you know, back to the original point, I wish Tom Hardy, not that he needs my luck or he needs me wishing him well, like, but I'm sure that movie will be something to see. And then similarly, like I said, I hope gangster movies that come through in Britain during the next however many well, like the next year or so, I hope they also get the support they deserve and are evaluated as pieces of art, not just, oh, it might glamorize this and it might glamorize that. Yes, we have a certain responsibility as filmmakers or as storytellers not to glamorize things, but I think the story of a gangster is always rise and fall. You go up fast and then you come crashing down very quickly. In this particular Al Capone movie, Al Capone was like the anomaly. This was someone who, you know, was built for gangster life. If anyone knows anything about Al Capone, hard man to catch, hard man to kill. So that's different. But most gangster narratives, like I said, these guys get burnt out very quickly. But at the same time, yes, it would be nice to have a story where it's not typical, like it's a subversion of the genre, whatever. Just give these films a chance. And yeah, if you're doing that, also let through a couple of, fund a couple of films that have nothing to do with the gangster estate life at all. That's not all these, we're saying BAME, but really the black representation is not just all estate life and all drugs and all that. Like, you need some balance to this thing, right? So yeah, anyway, one day I'll get this. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Also, if you're watching this on the Written Mirror channel, please subscribe to the Wicked Penman channel. If you're watching this on the Wicked Penman channel, please subscribe to the Written Mirror channel. I don't always cross over things, but sometimes there's an overlap and I put one on the other and so on. But for the most part, they're two separate channels. They sometimes share content, sometimes. Even so, please support both channels. Anyway, I'm out.